it. Yeah, there we go. Ring the bell.
Hey, how we doing? It's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. We got a pretty jam-packed show this week. All kinds of craziness with the MSG annual house show right around Christmas time. People getting pulled, people getting replaced. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, just some crazy shit in wrestling this week. Yeah, let's just get after it. Hey, yesterday was Derek's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Derek.
Yeah, happy birthday to Derek. Yay.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Oh, what's happening?
Welcome, Derek and Timmy.
What's up, everybody?
Derek, happy day late birthday. I'm real sorry that you're like the day out. God, your birthday sucks. Like my birthday sucks too, being on like the 6th. It's like, here's your birthday and Christmas present, you fat ass. Like fucking the day after Christmas, they must be like, well, this is for Christmas and your birthday, right? And that's why you are the way you are. Like you must have felt unloved your whole goddamn life because everybody else gets presents. And then it's like, well, Derek gets the present, and it's all like within that same 2-day stretch, and it's like, fuck.
That's what it is, man. And then over the holidays, you've got all that family time anyway. So I don't really feel like having a party on my birthday.
No.
By the time my birthday rolls around, I just want to relax.
Right. So I made a joke over the summer. I'm like, everybody else gets fucking like. Gets birthday birthday parties and stuff. I never get a birthday party. I want a birthday party. And then my birthday came around. My mom's like, "You still want a birthday party?" I was like, "No, God, no. I have to see you people. I just saw you people like last week for Thanksgiving. You want me to see you again and then again? Like, come on. On. Like, I love you, but like, get the hell out of my house."
I feel that deep in my soul.
Right.
So coming in here, as soon as I hit record, my wife sends me a text message, right? She's like, "Please don't have anybody that's waiting for you." I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like and then she starts sending me all these little like crying like little gifts and things. It's like, where is this coming from? She goes, "Oh, it was a thing I saw on TikTok." Are you fucking kidding me?
What does that even mean?
I mean, I watched me some TikTok. I don't know what that means.
I said, "Honey, there's not another woman alive that could deal with the amount of bullshit that you have to deal with."
Oh, like waiting for you, like if she's gone? No, come on, Lynn. Get the hell, come on. Oh my God.
Could you imagine? Like really?
No, I couldn't
TikTok
imagine.
is weird.
Like I'm legit getting ready to hit record, and this is the text message that comes through.
Waiting for you. Oh, she's so cute. God, she's so cute. She's so precious.
She is precious.
Oh, she's so precious. Man, she just doesn't understand.
No.
All right, I don't want to go off on this. That's not what the show is about.
No, not at all. But hey, so Derek, I'm glad you had a good birthday, bud. Do you also, guys? Do you know what yesterday was?
Yep, I do.
Derek's birthday.
Yeah, yesterday was was 1 year that Brody Lee had passed away, and apparently, okay, there's this fucking guy on the old Twitter. All right,
he's not even just a guy on Twitter. He's like a guy who's like a legitimate like wrestling news
journalist. Yeah, like I guess he's got like 1 million followers, right? So like I had no idea who he was. So what the fuck's that tell you? You know what I'm saying? So this jackwagon, all right,
chooch.
Fucking he tweets this out. Brad Shepard, yeah, he tweets this shit out. He says, "Ask an AEW fan, is this a portrait of a wrestling Jesus or an overrated mid-card wrestler who tragically died young? John's death was sad. Personally, I feel for his family. Professionally, he's been put on a pedestal by AEW fans that doesn't match his success in wrestling." Wow. Bro, Like, what the fuck, man? Like, is this is worse than Bruce Mitchell last year, right?
Oh
Like,
my
this
God,
has to be worse than Bruce Mitchell.
This is the worst take on this that I've seen. Oh God.
And
What
do you know
happened
what
here? Yeah,
the worst part about this is? It's not like this guy works for anybody, right? Like, this is his own shtick, just like, you know, how we've got our own shtick, right? Except he's got 1 million followers. But like, it's like, what the fuck? And then, you know, these are tweets like replying to it, right? And dude's like, you deserve all the backlash that you get. And then we've got the difference between you two is people miss Brody and he added to the world. Whereas if you disappeared from wrestling, fans would rejoice. Can't even spell pedestal.
I
Calls
didn't even
himself a journalist.
I didn't even know this guy was alive until I saw this, and I went, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
yeah, this is just one of those people that let's just tweet out something controversial just so I can get another follower.
Not even controversial. This is cold. Like, this is
this is.
Oh, I feel bad for his like. Look, one, you're not an authority on fucking anything. I'm not an authority on anything either. But like, one, you're not an authority. Two, like, fucking. Are you kidding me?
Like,
are you kidding me? I mean, you want to talk about a guy who like was beloved as a as Luke Harper. I'm like, God, push Luke Harper. What is wrong with you? Like, I never knew the man was sick before the man was ever sick. Before the man, like, before he was in AEW, before anything. Like, push Luke Harper. Why are we not pushing Luke Harper? Jesus Christ, Luke Harper. Look at this man. Look at this man. There is star written all over this man. And that never
just because he had horrible booking in WWE doesn't mean he wasn't a legitimate, you know, top guy.
His
potential all over him.
His run in AEW, however short it was like, it was gold. Like, everything he touched turned to gold. Good. Do you remember how terrible the Dark Order was until he showed up?
I was about to say the exact same thing.
They were out here throwing fake punches and shit.
He showed up, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, they mattered.
Everybody shit all over them until he became what he was.
Not only did they matter, like, we watched, like, you would watch the clips on, like, okay, I just have to point this out because Hangman reshared this. It was Brody's first It was Brody's first segment on being the elite, which was not a thing that I watched religiously, but I remember watching this segment. So they're in a hallway, and Brody's walking down the hallway with the cameraman like panning down the hallway. Hangman pops out. Hey, Brody Lee. Hey, we've never met in person, but I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Hangman. I'm Hangman Adam Page. Really nice to meet you. Yada yada yada. I heard a lot of good things. You know, I've been to your website. And Brody, really? And he's like, yeah. I put in all my information on, you know, jointhedarkorder.com or whatever. And you know, I never heard back and whatever, but it's, you know, it's okay. I'm in a better place now. And he went, you what? You put the information you were on the website. And he was like, yeah. But he's like, well, you know, I mean, you could still, like, we could really use somebody like you. And Brody was like, you know, and Hangman's like, no. I'm actually in a really good place right now. I'm with better people. It's going to be okay. But, you know, man, it was really great to meet you. I got to go. I'll see you later. I gave him a fist bump, and they walked away. And like Brody's looking like, what the fuck? Anyway, he goes back in the back room. He finds Alan Angels. He picks up a bunch of paper. He throws it at Alan Angels' head, and he's like, "We're gonna have Hangman Adam Page, Hangman, cowboy shit. What the fuck? Pick all that up." He tells the other Dark Order member, I think it's John Silver, pick all that up. Get it, give it to me. And then he hits John Silver in the head. Just a bunch of paper. He's like, where's my phone? Give me my phone. He calls Evil Uno. He's like, Evil Uno? Okay. Did you know that we could have had Hangman Adam Page? You know what? Find a bunch of papers around you. Hit yourself in the head with them. God damn it. Fucking cowboy shit. What? He just left. He walked out, and I'm like, I remember watching that, and now I'm just like, God, that was good. It was,
and that's the thing. Like, he really excelled in that BTE shit, right? And like, that's what made the Dark Order get over.
Yeah, that's what made him, like, he got over. But on top of that, like, he did that kind of stuff on TV too. Like, it was extended, but like, I mean, God, the guy had like no time, And like within his like couple of month AEW run, there's like a plethora of just moments here, there, whether it's on YouTube. There was only there was a 2-hour television show at that time. He was alive for like what, 2 pay-per-views? Like it's not even like he had he never had a chance. Like, could give him, God, if he had 3 years, could you imagine this kind of take? This kind of, when I saw this take, I went, "Are you kidding me?" Like this guy, like how could you have such a terrible, like, it's almost like you only watch, like, not even only watch. It's like you only watch wrestling casually, like once-ish a month, and then you'll just like read to like, well, I'm not actually going to watch wrestling. I'm just going to read a little bit. And just, oh God, bury this guy into the ground and like step on his grave.
Well, like scrolling on his Twitter timeline earlier, after I saw this bullshit, right? He's very much a WWE mark.
Look, I'm fine with being a WWE mark. Like, I think that like that's okay, but at the same time, it's like you're not a wrestling journalist if you're like, I don't find Dave Meltzer to be a very good wrestling journalist anymore. Yeah, that might be shocking. Right? Great impersonation.
You don't love Dave?
No.
I thought everybody loved Dave. I thought everybody in the IWC loved Dave. I thought Dave was the end all be all.
Because he's a mark too. And it's like you can't be on that. You have to be critical of everybody and everything, but you also have to realize and recognize what's great, right? Like you have to be like, we can all agree on what's great. When something great happens, none of us disagree. We're like, fucking, this was great, right? Yeah, great. Like we agree. We're not marks because we agree on the good stuff. Look, we can disagree on.
We're totally fucking marks, pal.
But not to this level. Not to this level of toxic bullshit.
The hat,
right?
and it's an AEW hat too. I mean, I'm marking it up pretty bad today.
I mean, there's DMD behind me.
Yeah, there's DMD behind me too.
Actually, I just got the new Blood and Guts action figure in the mail today.
Is it pretty cool?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet.
Do you have it?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Can you show us?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's what the fuck? What?
Of course.
Yeah, why would you not come prepared?
Hold, please.
Like,
pause.
Come on, Tim.
Be prepared. Timmy, go get it.
This guy.
Oh, but he's got the shirt on. He's got the Britt Baker
He's got the Britt Baker shirt on too. I was just getting ready to say something.
He's got the shirt on. Well, you and I are underprepared for this. I'm not wearing a wrestling shirt. I wore my Danhausen shirt while Derek's away to the beer store yesterday, and talked to my dude Brian the beer man, about. I popped in. He's outside smoking a cigarette. I'm like, Brian, AEW's all elite, brother. He immediately stomps out his cigarette, runs in to talk to me. But anyway,
that's good though.
So look, yeah, I have friends that sell me beer. Cheers to Brian, by the way.
So look at tough with the light going on, but
look at that.
Very, very cool, very detailed.
Wait, so you don't want to bust it out? You don't want to bust it out and like show us the heads, like maybe later. No, you're right. I'm kidding. Are those
comes
different?
With the T-shirt. Yeah, different heads. Well, of course, couple covered in blood, one's regular, and of course, got the let's fucking go DMD.
Wow, that's impressive.
New on the back. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Wow, that's good stuff. That's something.
Man, you know what's really funny? You remember whenever I came in here and I put Britt Baker over early on, and Derek was like, "Oh, dude, she's fucking terrible."
Well, because I was convinced that you're like, "It's Pittsburgh, I gotta love it."
You know what I'm saying? Like, now look at him running around here. He's all Britt Bakered out. Unbelievable.
That's the best. This might be one of the best moments in the history of the show.
I'm proud of you, pal.
Well, it'll come around eventually.
Hey, so did you guys see all this crazy shit on Wednesday on Dynamite?
I saw some.
Go on.
Nyla Rose. Did you see the sign in the crowd?
No, what did it
say?
It says Nyla Rose is this guy's dad.
Oh.
I knew
right.
I knew Derek would pop, right? But
That's
then the next day, she makes a comment about some dude in a wheelchair.
I mean, look, just because you're trans doesn't make you a good person. Just because you're trans doesn't mean you can be made fun of for being trans. It's really hard. Like, I wish Nyla Rose could wrestle. Can I get back to that? I really wish Nyla Rose could wrestle. Like, her matches are bad to not terrible. Like, they're not. I wish she could wrestle. I really do. I love her promos. Bitches. She breaks britches. Love that. I love the gimmick, but I wish she could wrestle. It's hard. It's really hard because, like, I wish she could wrestle, and it would be really good. She seems to be a pretty mean person, like, as a whole, and that's wrong. But I don't think that she deserves to be, like, picked on for being trans either. So it's really, like, because she's fully like she's fully converted trans. She's not even, like, there's no, like, going back.
What, you out here fucking doing
checked.
Research, pal?
Tom checked.
Yeah, no, I know.
I looked it up.
Look, I looked it up. I'm sorry. There's no going back. I mean, I guess there's maybe going back, but it seems expensive and there's stitches involved.
And then a reconstruction of the item that you'd previously removed.
Yeah,
which seems a little excessive.
Right, but, like, no, that's it. Good for her. Look, I'm not. You should live your best life. Your sex or gender has no bearing on my life at all. Live your best life, for God's sake. Nobody deserves to pick on you for that. However, that being said, Nyla Rose is not immune from criticism because she's transgender.
It's gonna happen.
You can't pick on disabled people. Like, well, I'm transgender, so I can pick on anybody I want. Like, that's not how this works.
No, that's not how this works. No.
So, and that's what happened. So, like, somebody picked on her for being transgender, and then she immediately picked on disabled, and that's not okay.
Match between her and Nia Jax. Who gets hurt first, you think?
Oh, God. Oh, God. That's a great one. That's really, actually.
That's just a straight up botchamania right there.
Oh, my God. Is that even do I even want to see that? Like, does somebody die in that match? Somebody might die in that.
Very well could. That's true. Yeah. Vicky Guerrero's out there just bitching the whole time. Both of them, because they're both terrible in the ring.
I mean, God, somebody.
Vicky probably go in there and do it better.
Vicky's not bad, actually, comparatively. Like, she's the Jim Cornette of, like, lady, like, manager wrestlers.
She really needs a tennis racket. I think that would.
She does. That would really add something to her character. You give her a tennis racket.
I come back to hear about Nia Jax and Nyla Rose, and that Vicky Guerrero needs a tennis racket. I can only imagine how off the rails this went while I was away.
No, those are the bullet
we held it
points.
Together nicely. It was very good.
Those are the bullet points. But
very tasteful.
Who dies first really was the if Nia Jax fights Nyla Rose, who gets botched first? Who gets botched killed first? We're not sure. Maybe it's nobody. Maybe they just, like, run into each other and nobody sells. And
yeah,
it's just
probably
bad.
not. Yeah,
that's probably what it's probably just bad on its face. Like, they just run into each other and nobody sells anything, and it's bad on its face. And maybe they're both sore in the morning for, like, running into each other. But, like, that's the end of it. Man, I don't know.
So
it's not something we need to see on TV anytime soon.
No. If they want to put that on YouTube, I'll probably click it. But that's the long and short of it there.
And, like, honestly, besides all that, man, it's like, first of all, the sign was funny, right? I'm sorry, but still, fuck that guy. Like,
I mean, I laughed, but also fuck him. But it was funny.
You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't have brought that sign.
I'm surprised that sign made it through.
I'm surprised that sign made it through. Because like I went to a Penguins game once and couldn't even walk in there, make a sign that said James Neal is lazy. Whenever like that was what Malkin used to call him, right? Like they wouldn't let us. We did it at the Penguins booth. Like they were doing like, make a sign or whatever, and they wouldn't let us take it because it said James Neal is lazy on it.
Now you got to walk in with a clean board, or you got to like walk in with something that already says something, and then like bring your big Sharpie and write it on the back. That's the only way that gets on.
And then you turn around and it's like, fuck her. You gonna make fun of somebody for being in a wheelchair, man? That's just not right.
That's what we're saying. Look, you can live your best life, and it's not okay if people like pick on you, but like that doesn't give you. Look, well, I'm trans, so I can do whatever I want because people are mean to me on occasion, and it's like no, pump the brakes because that's like, you can't be like, what, two wrongs don't make a right, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
I mean,
Words of wisdom.
two wrongs absolutely make a right. Whenever your name is Cody Rhodes,
right? But not in the sense of like, well, somebody was wrong to me, so I'm going to be wrong to somebody else.
Why not? Right? Cody does it.
Cody's also not
How
right.
so?
Are we talking about that? Is this a transition? Wait, is this the transition? Is this a transition?
This is a transition.
Oh, this is a godly transition. Good God.
It's like, look how smug this motherfucker looks in this picture.
Look at the heel turn coming.
Like
this was a heel turn, was it not?
Fuck a heel turn. He's a piece of shit.
Well, I want to hear what you have to say first.
Want.
I want to hear what you have to say first, and then we can talk about it.
Well, you know what, man? Here's what I got to say. I got to say the same fucking thing I say every time we bring this fucking guy up. It's like, you want to run around here and you want to like throw all this fucking shade at Triple H and for all the things that he did throughout his career, and then you want to turn around and you want to do the same fucking thing. And it's okay because it's you.
Not only is he doing the same thing, he's doing the same thing. He's done the same thing in 2 years that Triple H did in 10.
Yeah. But the only thing that he hasn't done is put the world title on himself. But that's because he can't win it because he lost his little stipulation match, and he's not allowed to ever challenge for the AEW championship ever in his career.
Ever.
Are you making fun of his lisp? Are you making fun of this man's disability?
You fuck this guy, man. For
real.
You can never
so goddamn sick and tired of every time I turn on fucking AEW, this guy's standing there with a fucking smug look on his face, just throwing it into fucking fans' faces, and it's like, I left because of Triple H and my unfair treatment, and now I'm just gonna do it to everybody else because it's got done to me. Yup.
Man, God, if there was a way to hit a nail on the head harder than you just hit it, Walt, there ain't. God fucking hell. Holy shit.
Derek, how are you going to sit here and try to defend this shit, bud?
I'm not going to defend it. I'm just waiting to see where it goes. Just the same thing that we come back to every freaking week.
We know where it's going to go.
Exactly. So then let it happen.
Oh, we can't stop it from happening.
I'm irritated that Sammy Guevara already lost the title. That's for sure.
Okay,
but that doesn't make me any less interested in seeing heel Cody come out. And actually, maybe
he's not going to be heel. He's not going to be heel.
He's got to be heel.
No, they paraded people up. They fucking put David Crockett came out and handed him the goddamn belt. Like,
That's true.
You most exalted one. Like, what? This is like, look, God, look, it was the stupidest thing I've like. Who books? I know who books it. Cody booked it.
He books the shit.
Who booked this?
That's the thing, right? It's like, that's the funny thing. Who booked this shit, right? But like, we know it's him.
Yeah.
What? Why, bro?
Because that's what was up on Arn's Waffle House menu. It said right here, December 25th, Cody wins against Sammy Guevara.
Look,
yep.
The day before,
this line here.
Also, it's very important. The day before Brody Lee dies, I need to become the first ever 3-time champion to surpass him. The day before Brody Lee died, the anniversary of.
So you know eventually he's going to find a way to compete again for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Sure, and that'll be a great heel turn. What a great heel turn.
This
and
is
then
where
they
it's
can
going to
put it
go.
on him, and then he can finally be the worst AEW heavyweight champion. And he can finally surpass Kenny Omega at something, and he can be a worse champion than he was.
Maybe he'll take it from Bryan Danielson after he takes it from Hangman next week.
Oh, God.
Or 2 weeks from now.
Finally, somebody can be a worse heavyweight champion than Kenny Omega. Finally. Oh, thanks, Cody. What a fucking...
He sacrificed that for you.
What a sacrifice. What a monument. You're the worst heavyweight champion. Before you've even made it, you'll be the worst heavyweight champion AEW's ever had. Way to take that off of the shoulders of Kenny Omega. Good for you. Way to take that bullet. Way to take like 6 of those bullets right to the chest. And that weird melted plastic off of that shitty ass table last week. You fucking shithead.
Man, his back's still looking rough from that. Like,
look,
I don't know.
It would have been way better if he'd have caught all the way on fire and just been out for a while. And
I mean, his wife almost murdered him. He should probably take her to court.
Could there be? I mean, okay. I want to point out another thing too, because we talked about Dave Meltzer earlier. Dave Meltzer was like, "Well, it was a good match." You know, the crowd, 50% of them were Foot, 50% of them weren't. He's red hot right now. He's a lightning rod. No, it's look. He is breaking wrestling at the moment. He's breaking AEW for me at the moment because he is making sure that we all know that wrestling is fake and he's in charge. Right? That's the point. Wrestling is fake and Cody Rhodes is in charge. So Cody Rhodes can be wherever he wants to be, whenever he wants to be. There's nothing about wins, losses, whatever in AEW. That doesn't matter. None of that matters when it comes to Cody Rhodes. It matters when it comes to like Darby Allin sometimes. Maybe when it comes to like, you know, Evil Uno, it matters. None of that matters when it comes to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes can have a title on himself whenever it's necessary in Cody's mind to have a title on himself, and he'll lose it to whomever he deems worthy to take a title because he's getting that person over. He got them over. And look, they can have as many people in the back say, Cody's so approachable. You're so wrong. There's so many people go into his locker room, which he has his own locker room. And apparently, like, you know, other people are in there too.
Well, it's because he thinks he's special. That's why.
Right. But so many people go in and
that's the Rhodes son, baby.
Because Cody's very special. And other people go in there and they pick his brain and they talk to him and all this other stuff. And that's fine. Look,
why would anybody want to talk to that guy?
I don't know. I don't want to talk to him. But like apparently, like, look, if you're nice to the wrestlers, good for you. But like you book yourself like I hate you and it's go away heat. It's not like, oh, I love to hate you. It's like when you come on, I'm like, you're about to wreck a segment for 40 minutes. Like it's not even like, it's like you're making me want to shut this off and read what happened later. Because I can't anymore with this guy. He's built nothing. Right? I mean, he's built the company. I built the company. Oh my God, it's the greatest. Cody cuts great promos. Cody doesn't cut great promos. Cody doesn't even cut good promos. Cody like defends himself in promos. It's not even like this was awful. This was really like I went home Christmas night. I'm like, okay, if Sammy beats Cody, I'll be happy about this and we can move on because that's like, you know, there's some story behind that. It seems like it's a pillar it's a hill that Sammy should climb, right? That makes sense to me. Let's let Sammy climb this hill on Christmas Day, right? That would be a nice thing, right? But no, of course not, because Cody Rhodes is involved. So of course it's crap, and it was crap. So everything Cody touches turns to like red hot diarrhea, and fun match. Wrong finish.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Wrong finish.
Fantastic match.
Ruined it.
Best half hour of wrestling I watched all week. match.
Wrong finish. Ruined it.
Listen, you got a guy like Sammy Guevara that you're like trying to push to the moon, and you're trying to create one of those homegrown stars, right? And then you got Cody swings the golden shovel, and here we are.
You got beat by Stardust. Sorry. Got beat by Stardust. Got beat by WWE mid-carder. Not good enough to be WWE anything. Intercontinental champion one time over. Got beat by WWE mid-carder. Got beat by an AEW mid-carder. Sorry, bro. You got beat by Val Venus.
Do you think he and Dustin would actually be allowed, if they wanted to use Goldust Stardust? Do you think that's still copyrighted at this point?
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Listen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, pal. They put a lock on Cody Rhodes for years.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like he just
that's
got
not his
that
name.
back.
Runnels. His last name is Runnels. Runnels. It's not even Rhodes.
It's still his family name in wrestling.
Okay.
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Okay.
Dusty Rhodes is a day one motherfucker, baby.
Talk about hard times.
Speaking of hard times in day one, we might be in trouble, gentlemen, come Saturday.
Because I don't know nothing about trouble.
There's a whole lot of going on. I mean, you know, we talked about this MSG thing a little bit. We're gonna jump into that, but looks like COVID has reared its ugly head in the WWE locker room again.
Everybody has COVID right now.
You know, and I mean,
everybody's
so
got
much
Omicron.
So
everybody's positive.
That this card is in danger. I mean, you've got some big names that have been pulled from shows and
danger
sent home. And we even have one guy that has confirmed he's COVID positive. So I mean, we're gonna jump into all of that right now, but it's like, you know, good gracious, man. Like this day one card looked pretty solid, and now like it's gonna be a shell of itself, right? Because we're definitely gonna be missing a couple of people. I have to feel like, right? And so we get into it. Roman Reigns got pulled from the Tampa house show yesterday, like hours before they were supposed to open the doors.
That's a phenomenal picture of him, by the way.
Like, I thought so too.
I wish there was a picture of me that looked like that. There isn't.
I mean, there's pictures of me that look like that.
Okay, can you send me one? Because like I feel like
you got to listen. All you got to do is go to www.onlyfans.com/One Fall WrestleCast. Okay, pay your $9.99. All right, and you can see pictures of me like that.
All of us. Heavily photoshopped.
It's just our heads on this picture.
You know, but I mean, so what's the deal here? Like, do you feel like because he's immunocompromised that like they're just like, we're gonna put the golden goose back in the hen house for a couple of minutes here, and let's just
absolutely.
Get to Atlanta.
With respect to him, there's going to be no risks taken for Roman.
Yeah, with him, there's no like you don't just like take a risk with him, as far as that's concerned. It's with Roman, it's like, well, hey, there's potentially an issue. Yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna go hang out with my family who's been quarantining because, whatever person has it in the locker room, whomever has it in the locker room, I'll see you guys in 5 days. And that's the right call, right? Just that with him, that's the right call. You put the bubble on him. I mean, truth be told, same thing with Brock Lesnar. I mean, not that I would be worried about Brock Lesnar's health per se.
Yeah, I mean, he is the alpha male of our species, and if the aliens come to battle, we're sending him.
Right.
We kind of need him.
Just ask Pat McAfee.
That's what Pat said. Yeah, that's not you send. Yeah, we're gonna send him because that's the right call. But it's no, yeah. There's a you don't take a lot of chances there.
And he's earned that level of respect that they're not going to obviously after the leukemia battles and his position within the company. There's absolutely zero chance that he's gonna have any he has the clout to say no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
do it
myself here.
Yeah, no. It's not like he's some low card, mid card guy that's hoping for a shot on tonight's television.
No, yeah,
he doesn't need to take the risk.
No, look,
nor will he be asked to.
Look, they're not going to put him in with Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus the Street Profits, which is what's happening right now. Which is it's going to be fun. It's looking pretty fun.
God, I can't wait till Dominic Mysterio just goes away.
I know you don't like
him. It's never going to happen.
No, I don't either.
It's obvious that you're daddy's boy, and that's why you're here because you're trash otherwise.
Look, there's.
At least Hook is, decent, has a good look about him.
Yeah, but then you got Hook out
like
here, no selling of.
Yeah, he did no selling.
Avalanche monster driver from fucking Bear Bronson. It's like that's a big time move for you to just be like, go
for you to just pop up like my hair was too big for that to hurt me.
Yeah, that's exactly. And then
pop up like.
Then you got Taz out here firing back at that, right? He's like, I don't understand why everybody's upset. It's just, it's a part of wrestling. Sometimes you just gotta go out there. No, motherfucker, that is a 350-pound grown ass man. You don't just pop up.
It was probably a poor booking decision to put him in the ring with Bear Bronson to begin with, honestly, because the size difference is just so unbelievable.
No, look,
unless you're gonna make it. Go ahead.
All he had to do was roll out of the ring and sell it. Sell that his head and his neck hurt, hold it, lean on the wall, lean on the fence, and then
it would have been a perfect match.
It would have been fine. Have Bear Bronson try to come down and hit him and just roll out of the way while still holding your own head and have him hurt his own ribs on the barricade. That's it. That's all you got to do. You roll back in the ring, you shake yourself out while Bear Bronson crawls back in, and then you pop out of it. You give it an extra 10, 15 seconds. That's all you got to do. That's it. You just give yourself a few. I'm not saying he has to sell it for 30 minutes. I'm saying he has to sell it for 30 more seconds. He has to roll out of the ring, take a little roll around, lean on the turnbuckle like it fucking hurt, and then roll back in. And then you pop out of it. It's fine. Look, I'm here to suspend the disbelief, but roll out of the ring first. Don't be that guy that pops up. You're not The Undertaker. You're not Kane. And he didn't do it in a cool way like they would do it either. He just popped up I just woke up and had a cup of coffee. Yeah. Don't do that. And that's truth be told, that's not his fault. It's AEW's fault. That's their training program's fault.
That's absolutely his fault. You got to know that's the right thing to do is to sell that move.
He's a kid.
Surely they're not calling it in the ring at this point.
If he's like, then he shouldn't be on fucking
he's
TV.
20 years old, man. At the same time,
I mean, Taz is your dad, bud. Taz is one of the most decorated, talent ever.
Yeah, ever. No, you're right.
Taz carries a name identity. You're
right. One of the greatest of all time.
That's not the right thing to do.
Nah, it's a good point. It's not the right thing to do. You got to take that 30-second little lap around the.
But you know what? That's easy for me to say because I'm sitting here talking to you two guys, right? I'm not out there doing it.
It's not.
But at the same point in time, as a fucking fan, as somebody that sits here in this chair and watches this shit week after week after week after week
for 35 years, though. At this point now,
you can't. Come on, man.
No, you can't pop up after that. You just can't. When that happened when we were kids, like when Hulk Hogan would do it or Tatanka would do it, it was I don't know how well that's going to get over. And that stuff does not hold up anymore, especially in the post MMA, days of Ronda Rousey's been a wrestler. They've got all these former MMA jiu-jitsu guys. It's just not the way anymore, and you can't pop up like that. And it would have been way better had they be like, Hook, because truthfully, it would have been Hook showing some some selling ability, and it really showed that he's not ready. Like
I agree.
They exposed him in a way that just was wrong. And
I don't know. The punches exposed him in that first match pretty bad though too. He looked like he should have been part of the Dark
You're
Order.
still on those punches. Wow.
Hey man.
I mean, they weren't the worst punches I've seen on AEW, but they weren't the best either. Triple H.
I mean, everything else. I think everything else that he did in his debut match made up for the lack of the crispiness on those punches. Like,
and I think everything in this
crisp,
match was fine, other than like what you just said. You know,
fine.
I didn't mean it like just fine, but it was good. It's all right.
No,
you know, even the punches in this one were all right.
I'm going to defend Derek. Everything else was fine, but it was that he needed to roll out of the ring. He did
defend Derek. Everything else was fine.
It's my birthday, bitch. He's got to be nice.
Your birthday was yesterday, but still. Congrats on being, what are you, like 32 now?
5. I'm old.
35? Fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. I remember when I was 35.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, bud.
What's our next little thing? Poor Hook. Hopefully he sells better next time. Hook, work on your selling, buddy.
Hey, side note, he does have the #1 shirt selling in AEW right now, though.
He does.
Yeah, well, he's not going to anymore.
Not if he doesn't keep working on his selling. He ain't going to have it.
So I found this interesting, right? And I feel like every year this MSG house show, all right, it is like big time shit for WWE, right?
Yeah.
Like something crazy always happens at this MSG house show.
Like a title belt changes hands.
Yeah.
The Rockers won at this MSG house show at one point. It didn't stick.
Because the top rope broke.
Well, but still.
Yeah. So
it happened.
They had the arena set up for just a little over 10,000. They sold about 5,400 tickets. Lots of empty seats at MSG for this house show, which is generally pretty good year after year. You know, I mean,
hard to get into stuff. I mean, God, with COVID, I mean, people don't want to.
That's exactly what I was going to go to, especially because New York is hit so hard right now with the Omicron variant and all the testing. You got to show all kinds of paperwork to get anywhere. I'm not going to a wrestling match at MSG right now if you were given me the opportunity.
No, yeah, same. I mean, look, I've got my booster and two COVID vax, and I'm like, so they're going to make me take a test 2 weeks before if I wanted to go to this. Like, this isn't like, to me, this is the fact that they've half filled this house in New York right now. I mean, that's impressive. Like, those people have like committed to like doing some work to fucking get into this shit.
Like, I'm gonna get sick to watch this show.
So is that the hill we're gonna die on here? It's got nothing to do with lackluster booking or
this year. I think that
doesn't help.
It doesn't help. Like, yeah, lackluster booking does. But truth be told, WWE is better right now than it usually is this time of year.
And I mean, you know, that's the thing, right? Like, we did these theme shows. We planned out these theme shows because generally wrestling's kind of shitty this time of year.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not been the case this year.
Not at all.
Well, I think part of that, though, fellas, falls back on there's actual competition this year. Whether you want to refer to them as competition yet or not, I'm just
regardless
saying,
of whether they're competition,
you got to push your storylines if you're going to have, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but they've been good on both fronts, though. I mean, good is in the eye of the beholder, obviously, but like they've been clearly not throwaway. It's not like, oh, we're gonna do the Halloween or the Christmas, you know. Although the Miz and Maurice are totally like renewing their vows tonight.
Yeah,
of course.
Edge and Beth Phoenix are gonna crash that shit.
They really are, and that's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah.
No, you're right. That's a good point.
If it doesn't happen, I'm rioting.
Someone's gonna go through a table into some cake and stuff. Then apparently,
I have it right here on. I can't get it in the camera angle, but it's right here. And I'm watching it on my Christmas tablet. It's fantastic. Christmas tablet that does it. It definitely shows things in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and I'm streaming it, and it's really, really pretty, honestly. And I put it on ARM. It's really nice.
I'm actually impressed that your internet lets you get 1080p as you upload. I mean,
Dude,
I
live
couldn't even send an AOL instant message right now while I do the show if I wanted to.
I mean, I have pretty consistent, pretty good internet here in Pittsburgh, PA. I don't live down in the holler.
Yep.
There isn't a gerbil running in my
Tom living that hashtag fiber life.
Heaven forbid I live anywhere near a city.
Well, you know what? On the bright side of things, though, guys, at least Tom's not living that hashtag COVID life, because you look at this MSG house show card. I mean, Seth Rollins, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Big E, all removed from the house show, right?
I mean,
and they were supposed to have like this big like triple threat steel cage match for the WWE Championship between KO, Seth Rollins, and Big E. That got pulled. Edge, I guess, got a phone call on Christmas Eve and was like, "Hey, bud, we need you in New York to do the house show. You think you can make it?" "Sure, I'll do it." And then he comes out and he cuts an opening promo, and KO comes out and interrupts him, and that sets up the main event, right? And it's like, overall, man, the card looked like it was pretty decent. So, like, I guess there was an announcement here that, like, prior to the show, some talents would be unable to appear due to COVID reasons. Wasn't specified who it was. And then you got Edge doing his thing, telling everybody what happened, why he's there. Finn Balor defeated T-Bar. Why Finn Balor is fighting jobbers each and every week is beyond me. Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dogs. I mean,
Alpha Academy is getting a little. They're not getting a push per se because they lose, but they're getting some serious TV time lately. They had serious TV time like for the last like 2 weeks. They just had serious TV time tonight too.
Hey man, they're good. I mean, and then
no
they
argument. Love them.
Then they added NXT Championship match, Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne, which I guess was supposed to hit the Holiday Raw tour anyways. So like it was just it got bumped up. Natalya defeated Nikki ASH and then lost to Rhea Ripley, one right after the other. Randy Orton and Riddle defeated the Mysterios and the Street Profits in a Raw Tag Team Championship match. Damian Priest defeated The Miz to retain the WWE United States Championship. And that's generally the title that gets changed on this shows, right? Like it's happened a few times. AJ Styles defeated Omos by disqualification. And then Edge defeated Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. The finish had Miz entering the cage and attacking Edge. Damian Priest came out for the save. Edge then hit a spear on Owens for the win. So I feel like every year they do this show, right? And I really wanted to talk about this because the show's usually really fucking good.
I mean, that still sounded pretty good. I'm not going to tell you that it didn't sound like a good show. It just didn't sound like the show that I thought it was going to be, because it's not the show that's been, projected on. Obviously, I watch too much wrestling. It's close, but it's like not quite.
But I feel like every time that we hear about this legendary MSG house show, right, that like this is kind of WWE taking a pulse, I think, on what people want to see, because New York is the most honest market in all of pro sports.
Well, between them and Chicago, yeah.
Yes, but obviously New York is considered hometown for WWE, and they tend to do this show, and I feel like after this show, we always get some sort of change of direction. And this show's always kind of important because of that change of direction. But it doesn't really look like we got that this time around. And maybe it's because they're content with the direction that they're moving, or maybe the response was kind of cold. I'm not sure. But Tom, I'm curious to hear what your opinion is, about this MSG house show every year and the significance that it plays on WWE television moving forward after it.
So I feel like this show becomes more and more relevant every year, right? It just seems to be, to me, traditional, yes, but as years move on, as Vince becomes less and less connected, it's less and less relevant every single year. I think this may be the culmination of its relevancy. You may see moving forward this being a sort of precursor to just whatever's going to happen on Raw and SmackDown. You know, they'll maybe kind of tease the main events. The finishes may be different on television, but you'll see like the main events for whatever Raw and SmackDown are going to be for the week, and that's going to be it. MSG is not a big arena. It's an aging arena. I've been in MSG before. You know, it's a tight little place. It's great. It's a great place to watch hockey. I'll tell you right now. You walk down instead of walking up.
I can see that.
It's really cool. God, it's really like you're walking into MSG. God, it's cool. It's really, really cool. Madison Square Garden. Like, God, is it cool. It's small comparatively. It's not PPG Paints Arena. It's old. The last time I was there, I was 10, I think. I walked in at age 10. My uncle lived in New York for a long time, and my father worked for my uncle. So we would go to MSG to go to things, mostly hockey games, and because we'd visit my uncle and Dad, I want to go to a Rangers game. Oh well, shit, the Pens are in town. Even if the Pens weren't in town, get me Ranger tickets. Fuck. Anyway, we'd go, and no, it was it's a cool little place. It's neat, especially just due to it's the atmosphere. It's really the atmosphere, but it's an old building. It is an old building.
Yeah, it's pretty dope though.
It's super dope. But at this point in time, it's one of those things where it's just like it's becoming a relic of the past. And I think this is sort of the beginning of the end of that, right? Like with COVID and with everything else, it's a relic. And you know, is MSG the way? Does it really speak to the broader audience, or is it just that New York crowd? And I don't know. I think that I think this is the beginning of the end for that. And as much as I like that, as much as I like MSG, it's okay.
I gotta say though, I feel like as long as Vince is even somewhat in charge, it's never gonna go away with him. I mean, that's gonna be his home arena until he's 6 feet under, and they're always gonna utilize that as like what I was saying, as the pulse of this entire thing, and to test out new items and everything.
Maybe not
old
during
building
COVID.
Or not, it's still it's still their backyard.
Maybe not during COVID though. I mean, it's hard to put anything together right now, right? Like it's hard to put my sister was exposed like on Christmas, and like they found out like the day after Christmas or 2 days after Christmas, and it's like I called her today. I'm like, hey, when can I get these kids out of my house? They want to play with your kids. And she's like, so we got exposed right after we saw you. We're fine. We're vaccinated, but yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's hit the brakes. She's like, yeah, we're just gonna chill here. We're all in quarantine. I'm like, okay. And it's
unfortunate, but it's just gonna be how life is from now on. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Fortunately, it's getting less and less deadly. I mean, thankfully. I've got a whole house full of fevers right now. We've all three got fevers.
Dude, I killed my so I thought for sure. I was like, oh God, I'm so sick. My nose is stuffed. My sinuses are trash.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening to me? What's going on? My tree died. My Christmas tree died. I threw it away. I feel amazing today. I'm 100%.
Didn't Walt tell you about this beforehand? Was this not a discussion point 2 weeks ago?
We did. We fought about it. But no, my Christmas tree died, and my sinuses went, and then I threw it. It's on my It's in my front yard right now. I can breathe. I can taste. I can smell. I have no snot. I have no. God, I'm like, I've never been in such good shape in my life. My neck feels good. My back feels good. My shoulders feel good. What the hell? It was the fucking Christmas tree. Now,
You love
I'm
football
good.
though.
I fucking hate football. No, I'm just
Seth Rollins loves football. Merry COVID Christmas to me. I love football.
Oh God,
so Seth is clearly COVID positive, huh?
For sure. I saw that yesterday. Yeah, for sure, it's him.
Throwing it out there. So that's
which
what
is
I'm
why
saying.
Becky's out too.
Yeah, circle back, right? Like day one, man. Like dude's in the main event.
I mean, is he? So if he's COVID positive with the new virus, like Omicron is a 5-day quarantine now, according to CDC guidelines. So I mean, he's got time, especially if he doesn't have symptoms, which he probably does not, because I'm sure he's vaccinated, boosted, and also like a fucking top tier 1% athlete. Maybe he had had to blow his nose, but I mean, I'm sure he'll probably be fine. He won't be contagious for the day. But here we are.
Hey.
That's the thing, right? This is where we are.
But then this happens, right? And then today, information gets released that WWE is no longer requiring their folks to get COVID tested.
Oof.
I'm guessing that doesn't sit well with the tribal chief.
It probably doesn't sit well with the tribal chief or Paul Heyman, who would be in like the other most at-risk category for being fattest guy in television.
I thought you were going to say because he's Jewish.
No, because he's like never mind. Is he Jewish? I didn't know he was Jewish.
Of course. Yes.
That was a joke.
Hey, so you remember a couple weeks ago, WWE was in New York, right?
Yeah.
Dude jumped the barricade and tackled Seth Rollins.
I do remember that.
Oh, you think he gave him COVID?
I mean, maybe. But you know what? You know what, though?
Should have beat that guy with a tire iron.
My guy was at MSG.
Of course he was.
So this made its rounds on social media this week. That my man Elijah Spencer, the gentleman seen here off to the right of your screen.
Your man, I would elbow this man in the nose so
tackling
hard.
Seth Rollins, and looks like he's getting the business. I picked a really good picture so that Seth looked like he wasn't a little bitch boy because he got fucking blindsided.
Come on,
right?
Yeah, listen, he did.
I'm not mad at Seth. I'm just saying
the best he could.
I picked the best picture I could that it didn't look like Seth was getting owned, because everything else, Seth looked like he was getting his ass beat. Right?
Look, this fat.
So this happened again. Is that what you're telling us?
No. So he was at the MSG show. So he supposedly has been banned from all WWE events, but here he is waiting outside MSG. He took pictures of it, and then This made its rounds on social media. This person retweeted his post and was like, "Well, dude's at the MSG show. You want to stress security?" So I mean, and then he posted videos from inside. Like he posted a video of Rhea Ripley versus Natalya, and it's like, okay, so he's there, he's in it. Like, so what are we doing here, man? Like, how you gonna publicly state my man's banned from all WWE shows, and then the very next one in New York, he's like, "I'm here, motherfuckers!" Ah!
So what you're saying is he didn't have to. He didn't even have to travel. He was just like, they just came back, and he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna buy a ticket. I'm gonna show up."
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, so what you're saying is security is a joke.
Oh, I mean, what do you want them to do? Put up like a WWE's Most Wanted posters in front of their faces and like, all right, guys, these 60 people here are all banned. Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to notice one out of the 5,600 people that came.
I mean, I guess somebody else buys the ticket, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what's the protocol for that, right? It's like the dude that jumped in the ring on AEW that got his teeth knocked out by Chris Jericho. Like, how do you enforce that? How do you make sure that those people aren't in your shows, like, or in your venues? How do you do that? You don't. I feel like that's quite a monumental undertaking, right?
I mean, the next time they do it, I think you put them in the hospital, right? I think that's the. I mean, look, if you're Vince McMahon and you got all the money in the world, if somebody does that because you've got that, like, lackadaisical fucking bullcrap, like if you're just like, well, we can't really stop you from coming to the show, but
No, they
fired
that guy due to budget cuts.
Yeah. Okay. So the next time you let the locker room out and you tell them, hey, crack this guy's skull and I'll pay your medical bills. I'll pay your lawyer fees.
They're not paying anybody's lawyer fees. Budget cuts.
Well then at that point, then I guess that guy gets to beat on and crack Seth Rollins' skull. So if you're
Seth Rollins, better learn how to fight legit.
So if you're Seth Rollins, you choke that man out and you snap his neck.
But they can't because of budget cuts.
Well, you blame it on Vince McMahon.
Neck snapping has been released due to budget cuts, and we wish neck snapping its very best in its future endeavors.
Snap, nap, or tap, buddy. Well, maybe you snap his ankle instead, right? Oh wait, they cut Kurt Angle too. Never mind. I got nothing.
Budget cuts. Hey, Derek, you've been awfully quiet up here, bud.
I'm sorry, buddy.
He's real sleepy.
I'm sneezing and was coughing. I had to mute myself for a minute.
I just thought it's because you were a little bitch.
No. It is no joke that something's going through my house, but it's not COVID.
You sure?
Are you a doctor?
Yes.
Tested?
I have a test kit that I got from the richest gas station in Bellevue, so I know it is.
Okay, good.
Wow, that's made it down there to the hall.
Okay,
it's crazy because you see these news stories that they're impossible to find. I'm like, go to richest gas station. They've got them there.
And the gas station has this shit. Why the fuck can't I get it?
This isn't that hard to find for me.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen to this. My nose is clear, boys. I'm in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, we actually kept the baby home from daycare today and everything. It's she's running the worst of it. But,
Oh, how responsible of you, because some irresponsible parent sent their sick child to daycare, and now my daycare is closed all week, which is fine.
Oh, nice.
I'm still on vacation and I'm thoroughly enjoying the time with my boy, but
Still.
Enjoy those. Those times with the boy are the best times with the boy, because at some point the boy is going to be like, Dad, why won't you let me play Roblox? And you'd be like, because it's bullshit and it makes you retarded. Don't make me say that. Anyway, you'll be like, because it's bullshit and it's the worst fucking thing you could possibly be doing right now. And he'll be like, I'm mad at you. And then, like, he'll go to take a shower and then come back down and be like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Tom, cancel culture is going to come for us because you don't like Roblox. Okay?
The Roblox cancel culture is legit, too. That's like saying that Fortnite sucks.
Fortnite's better than Roblox. I said it here.
Wow.
That's messed up, man.
I'll take a Nigerian nail for Fortnite. I'm watching General Z's and Apollo Crews with his weird stick thing.
Dog shit.
Yes, very much.
Have they not they fired better people than Commander Aziz? And they really fired better people.
How about AJ Styles showing up on NXT?
He doesn't cost much to keep around, though.
He doesn't fit the under 30 and above 6 foot mold.
I mean, he's 42 and like 5'10". Commander Aziz is gonna hit him with that weird. What the hell does Apollo Crews cut? It's like a metal Q-tip. What the hell does he carry around?
It's a Nigerian spear. It's a war spear.
It's like a blunt
that his
metal.
His people carried to battle.
It's not a spear. Like, spears are pointy. It's not a spear. It's like a.
There's a spear point on there. Like, why is this dude where's he going? What is so important that he's got to just roll out?
He had poopies. Had to go poopies.
At least my internet crashed. I mean,
you need to go poopies.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should just end the stream and just leave it up. And then
we're not even going to talk about the Montreal Screwjob.
No, we have to talk about the Montreal Screwjob. It happened. Hey, we'll catch you next week. One Fall.
When he gets back, I really just want to kind of roll over it because it's like Brett screwed Brett. That's the true story. Brett screwed Brett. Brett wasn't going to do it. Undertaker was like, make him drop it to me. He'll drop it to me. Because like Undertaker was just going to hold his neck and like hold him by the dick and like, you're just going to get pinned right now, boy. 1, 2, 3. And that was going to be the end of it. And they're like, no. Triple H was like, no, just like fucking do it. Like make him tap out. He's like, well, he's not going to tap out though. It's like, so have the ref call it.
Hey, I'm like legit getting ready to roll into the Montreal Screwjob and this fucking guy rolls out. Like, he was the one that had a hard on for this topic.
My penis is soft for this topic. Soft. SAWFT. Soft.
And you can't teach that.
Boom.
Tom, what are you drinking on, bud?
Just some Centennial IPA. My brother-in-law actually bought me a really nice whiskey. It's not a bourbon, so it's very like nasal front. It was almost a little ricey, if I gotta be completely complete about it. It didn't have that like maltiness to it. It was very like nasal. It's good. It's a rye, which I would have assumed would have had more, but it was almost a too clean of a whiskey, right? Like I kind of drink dirty things. Like here I am drinking IPAs. I can't drink dirty things, so it was almost too clean of a whiskey for me personally. It's not something I would purchase because it's too clean. But he bought it for me for we had Secret Santas and stuff, and we generally just exchange alcohol. It's like, here, this is something I like, or this is something I want to try, or whatever. And we buy each other a nice bottle or whatever. And he bought me a bottle of something that he was looking to try. But he bought it for me because I love him too. He's my brother. Like we weren't birth brothers, but like he married my sister and I love him very dearly. And no, he bought me a nice bottle of whiskey. So I had a couple of those, but it's a little too clean for me. I like it a little dirty. But no, I'm drinking that. It was very good. And then
I got gifted a bottle of scotch, Isla Scotch a couple of weeks ago. Tastes like cherry chloroseptic. The throat.
Yeah. It's a little scotch. Same thing. Scotch is a little. It's too much, right? It's just not quite. It's not where
my palate hasn't learned to appreciate scotch yet. Right now, I'm drinking this. I'm drinking this Rebel 100. Right? It's like
I do like Rebel. I like Rebel. It's like the almost bottom shelf, but it's
this was like an $18 bottle, but like it's a weeded really whiskey, and like it's good, but like I just don't know that I have a palate for weeded whiskeys. It's something about it I'm just not into.
Nah, I try to stick with the bourbons. To me, they have this like rounded woody oak flavor that I'm like, that's what I'm looking for in the drink, right? And it's like if it's too in the nose, I'm like just not.
As soon as I finish this, I'm gonna switch to this 4 Rose single barrel, which is
4 Roses is good.
I was actually drinking 4 Roses on Christmas. You guys would be proud.
You were probably drinking Yellow Label though.
I have no idea. It was at my parents' house, but it had a cork in it. I know that.
It did. The Yellow Label is fine. It's very good, actually.
It is good.
It's very good.
This is better though.
I'm certain it is because it's like $20 more. It's a $52 bottle as opposed to like a $28 bottle.
However, Derek, we were just getting ready to roll into the topic that you just had to talk about, and then you just left us.
I'm sorry, fellas. I had another sneeze coming on, and I was annoying myself with all the yawning and the sneezing, and I just had to go freshen up for a second.
Oh, so what you do? Did you go play with yourself?
No, I blew my nose, and
Don't forget to cup the balls.
God.
So I threw my tree out because it died, and all of a sudden, I'm fit as a fiddle.
Are you?
I'm gonna launch my artificial tree out of the window. Maybe that'll help.
Are you drinking vodka out of a sippy cup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, is this? Am I watching the main event here?
You would think that I would be used to it by now. You're not watching the main event, but it's 9:41. Okay.
I wish it was.
It's an hour of Broadway. Here it comes.
The main event's gonna be the fucking Miz and Maurice vow renewal, because that's really all they sold Raw on tonight.
Derek.
Sir.
Derek, did you know? I didn't screw Brett. Brett screwed Brett.
I did know that.
So,
nice shot. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, it sure does. So obviously the Montreal Screwjob is one of the most controversial things in all of professional wrestling, right? There's people that say that this is, a work. There's people that say that this actually was a shoot. And I think that we're gonna, as Tom puts it, gloss over it real quick. Like, obviously you've got the three guilty parties here. You've got Shawn Michaels and referee Earl Hebner and Mr. Bret Hart. This is actually from WrestleMania 12, so like this doesn't really have any bearing on what we're talking about, but it kind of does, because this is where it started, right?
Gorilla Monsoon, by the way, one of the greatest commentators of all time.
Yes, and a hell of a in-ring talent too, if I must say.
I mean, we were chill. We were
not even considered yet, pal. When he was doing the damn thing,
we were not a glimmer in our father's eyes when he was doing the damn thing, but still.
So obviously, a lot went into the Montreal Screwjob being a thing. Okay, and we all know the build-up and everything that happened from, the fight backstage when Brett ripped a handful of Shawn Michaels' hair out, and Shawn saying that it's an unsafe working environment, and the 20-year contract that Vince pulled away from Brett and said, I can't pay you, pal, but let's get you over to WCW and they'll take care of you. They'll get you paid. We can use this as leverage. And obviously the respect thing, that Shawn didn't respect Brett and Brett didn't respect Shawn. And, while they didn't like each other on a personal level, they actually, anytime they were in the ring together, they tore the fucking house down.
For sure. This wasn't their first meeting either. Like they'd worked together multiple times
for the WWF championship.
Well, but also like as in tag team aspects, like as the Hart Foundation versus like the Rockers. Like they spent a lot of time in the ring together, a lot of time, especially with how they were running house shows at the time. So like these were not unfamiliar foes. That being said, my perspective on this is very, you guys are going to hate me for this. It's very anti-Brett, because Brett was on his way out in a way that he maybe didn't want necessarily, but at the same time had accepted. And the whole time, like this is a very anti Vince McMahon thing. Like don't look at me as a pro Vince McMahon guy. I'm not. But like Vince had sort of like, Brett, I can't pay you. You have to go. And like Brett kind of wanted to leave. This is my understanding though. But they had brought it to Brett. Like, look, you're the champ. You gotta drop the title. You have to drop the title. Like you're leaving. You've signed a contract. You've signed a very good contract. You're leaving. You've given us your 2 weeks notice. You have to drop it. He's like, well, I'm not going to drop it in my hometown. And it's like, dude, You have to drop it. And Undertaker even says, let me do it. He'll drop it to me. I'll give it to Shawn. Right? Because Undertaker will literally hold him down by his throat and his nuts. And he'll drop it to me because I'll kill him and I will pin his unconscious body and he will drop it. And they were like, no, we're not going to do that. So Triple H in cahoots with Shawn Michaels says, whoa, what if we just force it? And they say, well, what the fuck do you mean? And he says, well, you put him in the sharpshooter and you have the referee call it like you tapped. And they say, what? But what happens when he flips out? It's like, look, you let it be dramatic. You let it go. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be wrestling history. He was fucking right. They were fucking right. Shawn Michaels,
absolutely, we're still talking about it today.
They were fucking right. Look, it happened. Bret was so mad it happened in his hometown. So, but you know what? Bret screwed Bret. He should have dropped it. You're right. They could have tore the house down. It was coming. It had been built to this. But Bret had this little clause of, Bret had this understanding that he was not going to lose in Montreal. He wasn't. He couldn't lose in his hometown. Can't lose in Montreal.
I mean, he did have reasonable creative control for his last 30 days. That was part of the exit strategy on the contract, right? And it's like, oh, wow, all that's well and good. It's clear the writing's on the wall, right? And it's like, I was one of the biggest Bret Hart guys in the fucking entire world. But it's like, bro, you consider yourself to be this, consummate professional that always does the right things and always puts the business first, but yet you don't have enough integrity to put your shoulders on the mat and go out the right way. You want to show up on Monday Night Raw a day after your contract expires and vacate the title and then put the company into a pickle by not doing business. And it's like, you know what? I'm absolutely of the school of thought that the Montreal Screwjob was not a work, right? There's people out there like Scott Hall that say that it was an absolute work, and I mean, he's been on record saying that the Screwjob was a work.
He was drunk. He didn't know.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's fucking, that's bullshit. It was not a work at all.
He wasn't even there, so it doesn't matter.
He wasn't there. He was drunk.
Like he was already off at WCW doing the NWO thing, and but Derek, I'm intrigued to get your opinion on this. What did you think about how everything kind of laid out and played out?
Well, to me, in no other sport or form of entertainment does anyone have the ability to say, well, I don't want to do that because it's my hometown. Do you think the fucking Penguins like losing hockey games in Pittsburgh?
No.
They probably don't. They probably don't like losing, period. But you don't get that option to sit there, oh, I don't want to do that job here. I'm going to do it over here. I don't care how much reasonable creative control you have. That's unreasonable baby bullshit, and that's what Bret Hart has proven himself to be over the years, giving interview after interview, talking about what a piece of shit Vince was for protecting his own company and his belt. We all saw what Medusa did whenever she took the WWF women's belt over to WCW and threw it in the trash. Is Vince really going to let that happen again with his World Heavyweight Championship?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's
stupid.
It is stupid. And then the thing is, right, like, I couldn't believe, what the hell's going on? I'm watching this live in 97, right? And it was 97,
We're
96.
children. We're
97.
96. No, yeah, right. 97.
97.
But we're children, right?
Yeah.
We're
I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? And then, it didn't look good from the standpoint of Vince and Sergeant Slaughter are sitting ringside. That doesn't make any sense. Why are they there all of a sudden? And then they said, well, it's because of the pull apart at the end. He wanted to be down there to help with crowd control with the pull apart at the end, because apparently Bulldog and Owen were supposed to rush the ring and do a run in, and that was the planned upon finish. And then being on the plane with Earl Hebner the night before. It's like, hey, Earl, I think they're gonna screw me. You know, like, oh, I wouldn't let that happen, Brett. I wouldn't let that. Motherfucker, you can't say that you're not gonna let that happen. That man pays your paychecks. You know what I'm saying? That's like, get out of here. And
either Earl's going to get fired, and then he's not going to have a job. Brett isn't going to take care of him after the fact.
right.
Earl
Fuck
did get
that.
fired,
I'm going to do whatever my boss tells me to do.
Earl did get fired though.
Yeah, like 10 years later.
Because of that?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
He was
I
selling.
was going to say,
bullshit.
surely Earl should have been put up on a pedestal for a minute after that.
He and Dave were putting bullshit merchandise out in the parking lot before shows.
Yeah, licensed merch.
But no, Brett's good. Look, Brett broke the cardinal code, right? He didn't want to follow the booking. He wanted to go into business for himself.
No, and he tries to act like he's the consummate professional.
But like,
he loves the business.
I mean, whatever, 30 years later, 25 years later, it's Brett screwed Brett. It's not even like he screwed Brett. No, Brett screwed Brett, and then Brett went on and sulked in WCW and had a nothing career.
Mm-hmm.
And in the way that, like, the man was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, but like was so bitter about it that he became, you know, the bitterest there was, the bitterest there ever was, and the bitterest there ever will be. And that's his legacy, man.
You're absolutely right. He's a bitter, sulking asshole.
The man could have been a fucking hero, but he's just a sad old asshole. Now.
You know, and a lot of that has to do with a lot of people who have said in the past that Brett has been known to take himself too seriously, right? And it's like, you know, to Bret Hart, he was absolutely the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion. Like, he did that. He wasn't appointed.
You didn't win anything. You were, like you just said, you were given, you were chosen.
And that's been the thing that people have said about Bret. He took himself so seriously that he actually thought in his mind that he was the champion, when all you were doing, bud, was carrying around a prop. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and I'm not sitting here and defending the actions, I guess, of the Montreal Screwjob, and I'm not sitting here and I'm not defending the actions of Bret Hart leading up to this. I think that there's got to be a better way to have gotten this taken care of. Maybe it is something as simple as the Undertaker says, he'll drop the belt to me. He's not gonna have a fucking choice. I'll drop it to Shawn next night on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, Taker would have done business, and that's what it comes down to. And it just comes down to doing business. And it's like, you know, we sit here and we talk about some of this stuff, right? And it's like, you know, we talked about Hook earlier, not doing business, you know, and then you got the shit that happened a couple weeks ago with Hannibal and the referee, you know, going into business for himself and stabbing that man in the head. And you know,
start believing your own shit. It doesn't end well.
You know, and the thing is, man, I think that you know, the whole story about that was that Bret would never come out and wreck the business because he cared too much about the business. And he was the first motherfucker to sit down on Maury the next day and was like, oh, pro wrestling's fake.
Yeah.
First motherfucker. As soon as he didn't get his way, man, he was out there putting everything on blast. He didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit who he threw under the bus, what he threw under the bus.
He buried the whole business, and then fucking WWE or WCW buried him, and but he buried himself in WCW, and Goldberg kicked his head off, which, you know, kind of ruined.
Super unfortunate, by the way.
It was super unfortunate, but at the same time, it's like, man could have been the best of the best of the best of the best, but like, nah, he was just a dick. And that's what it was. He was just a jerk, and that was the end of it.
High five, dude.
Damien's stealing Spider-Man.
Can I have a high five, Dad?
Oh, sorry. Damien's
give that
Spider-Man.
boy a 5.
He left me hanging, bro.
I didn't know he wanted Spider-Man. Anyway, He's got Miles Morales installed already. Anyway, not important. He wants to beat up people differently. But no, I mean, Brett screwed Brett. It's you know, here we are, analyzed 25 years later. It's undisputed. It's undisputed.
Well, it's been proven time and time again. Like we've already mentioned the Medusa incident. You've got the Jeff Jarrett incident whenever he held up the company for thousands of dollars because he had the title and he was going to leave. Vince isn't going to take that shit. You can't let this happen. If you're going to get punched in the face about it, just make him feel more of a man about it, then fine. That's what you feel like you need to do, asshole. But whenever we look back through it in history, all these years later, it's Brett that comes out looking like an asshole.
It's not even that. It's. I hear what you're saying, and it's to the point, but like, he felt that he was more important than he should have been. Like, basically, they put him out there and said, "Look, you're leaving. Here's a pay-per-view. We're on pay-per-view. You have to lose a title on a pay-per-view." Like that's how titles were, especially then. Maybe not like now, even 25 years later, but at that point in time, I never saw a title change unless I paid $50.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw the only title changes I saw were the ones I paid to see. And that's how that business worked. It was like a boxing thing. Like you didn't see, like, in fact, you get to watch every week and you get to watch the build to said title change was fantastic. And yeah, you got to see at the very rare occasion, because they didn't want you to, like, you know, lose your, you know, they didn't want you to stop watching. Occasionally you would see a title change, but it was usually like, oh my God, the Intercontinental Championship, right? The Tag Team Championship. You didn't see the world title change on fucking Raw. You didn't.
Not very often, no.
Not until, like, you know, 1999, maybe 1998 or so. But like at that point in time, I would say it had maybe changed hands once, twice on Raw, ever in like a 10, 15 year span. But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but maybe it was very much Brett trying to get that moment like Sean had, right? When Sean lost his smile and he's like, hey, here's your fucking belt, right? Like, Sean got to go out and got to go find his fucking smile. Why can't Brett fucking go find his smile either? Like, I feel like we all agree that Brett should have done business, right? But at the same point in time, Brett was trying to protect Brett, and in the process, Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah,
so
I mean that's where it was.
So I guess we can just tie a bow on the Montreal Screwjob. It is not the greatest storyline in all of professional wrestling.
So, just to put a point on it, you know, I feel like Brett should have certainly pursued his case backstage, but once that was not the way, gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go. You gotta.
It's pretty ridiculous. Down. You punch the old man in the face.
Look, he even came back and got to beat Vince McMahon on pay-per-view, like 15 years later.
Oh, no, biggest train wreck on WWE television.
They were both really old men at the time, and it was really bad. But it happened, and if I was just to write it down and just to be like, oh, well, you know, Bret Hart beat Vince McMahon and got his comeuppance. That's all that happened. It was awful.
Bret got his smile.
Yeah. As a 40-something.
Those sunny days weren't doing it for him. He had to find something else to do.
You got me to it. You beat me to it. Hey, so let's put a bow on it. Derek, did Vince screw Bret or did Bret screw Bret?
Oh, fellas, this is obvious. It was Bret screwed Bret. He created this situation. He created this situation, and he didn't act accordingly to get out of it properly. He's an asshole. I mean, I've just recently watched Wrestling with Shadows, so I've seen, all the backstage, and they definitely played it from Bret's side. on that particular video. And no, I have no pity for the man. No.
Well, you heard it here first. I mean, not really. Like, I mean, it's been talked about for years and years and years. I actually thought that this was going to be a little bit of a better talking point for the three of us, but I think with everything that happened, at least somewhat newsworthy this week, it kind of overshadowed everything leading into the Montreal Screwjob conversation, huh? Gentlemen.
Yeah, if I would have realized we were all going to agree, then I'd have just, at least tried to play devil's advocate somewhat. I didn't realize that we were all going to go head on for Brett here.
I mean, it is what it is, pal. Gentlemen, right now, it's time. It's fucking time.
Is Vader time?
It is time for the most anticipated segment in all of pro wrestling podcasting.
Oh, no.
And that is One Fall WrestleCast match of the week. Tom, what you got?
So what happened this week? There was like some matches, and they were not great. Truth be told, for my money and for my time and for what I watched hard, we got Chris Statlander versus legit Layla Hirsch. And truth be told, that's really the one for me, boys. I mean, Chris Stat is hit or miss for me, but God, I love Layla Hirsch. I really, really, really like Layla Hirsch, and it was big versus small. Dude, look,
I'm not a Layla Hirsch person at all. I thought you were going off.
You of all people, just being a little guy, I feel like
I want to hug Layla Hirsch. I feel like she's as legit as they come. And I'm
pretty sure you'd get knocked the fuck out if you tried to hug her.
That's fine. I feel like that would be like a good story for me. And like, no, I love Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch is great. I feel like this is Chris Statlander's best match since coming back from injury. Great. No, very good. Statlander versus Layla Hirsch. There's really no runner-up or anything. Like, I liked the Cody versus Sammy match, but like the ending, just like it was like, man, how could like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and eat these chicken wings, and then like somebody like hit me in the face and like pulled my mouth open and like shit in my mouth at the end of the match, and I was just like, well, this is terrible. Yeah, no, Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. It was a very delicious. If I was to call it anything, I would say it was like a pretty good cheeseburger, like with some bacon on it. It was good.
That finishing submission move of Statlander's is actually pretty cool. If they could smoothly get into it next time, because it was a little sloppy getting into it.
I mean, it wasn't,
but
like
it looked cool.
It was like a Hardee's bacon cheeseburger. It wasn't quite like a like a Burgatory or anything like that. But it was like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not I could have had like some better mayo, maybe less pickle. I'm not into pickle. It was a little bit of pickle there at the end, but yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, that's the match.
No, that's my match of the week. Love legit Layla Hirsch, and I hope we get a lot more out of her because 5 stars. Love Layla. Anyway, I'm moving on.
Derek.
Well, as I've already hinted to earlier, my match of the week was the main event of Rampage. Thanks to Mark Henry getting us started on that, as usual, on the Rampage front. Going with Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes. While I know you guys are going to hate the finish. The finish was shitty in my mouth. I got shit in my mouth on the finish. But the match itself was phenomenal, fellas. It was so clean. It was so clean.
You like to eat poop, it's fine.
There was so many good spots through that. So many athletic spots that they both easily could have botched. Sammy is way better than I think people give him credit for. The guy can work.
They took an athletic poop in your mouth, buddy.
I mean, it was a high grade poop. You could tell that they, were definitely into the supplements and stuff. And actually, the section that sold me was whenever they actually included the crowd, and Cody throws Sammy into the, which obviously is set people that know this is coming. The backstage people, who knows, whatever. They didn't actually look like wrestlers because they weren't all jacked up like that nurse we saw on Raw or SmackDown a couple weeks ago that Pat McAfee alluded to. Like, that's a jacked up nurse. Yes, a very muscular nurse. But yeah, that was a wild out of nowhere spot that's like, oh shit, look at this. And I'm telling you, fellas, those opening segments were awesome. Athleticism on full display. I dug it. It was good stuff. I understand where you guys are coming from as far as,
I just don't understand how you're going to sit here and you're going to celebrate this match because you're like the biggest Sammy G guy on the squad here.
I'm really mad at you.
The match was really good. Sammy was fantastic in the match.
I'm really mad at you for this.
Sorry, Tom. I really love Sammy. That sucks.
Really mad at you for this.
We gotta admit though that Sammy's run with the belt has been lackluster. I mean, nothing's really happened.
Whose fault is that?
It's Cody's fault.
It's Cody's fault. That's right.
So there's a fan theory that Cody won the title because when they make the change over to TBS, they're gonna change the TNT title to something else.
The Wipeout title.
And that's why Cody has it, so that it can withstand the change.
Wait, no, he doesn't do Wipeout. What does he do? The Big Show?
Go Big Show.
Go Big Show.
Yeah.
The Go Big Show belt.
Well, you go Big Show.
Oh my God.
You go big show tonight, y'all.
Yeah, get ready.
We haven't seen a lot from him here lately.
It's because he sucks and his knees don't work.
Yeah, well, I mean, just even in like a Mark Henry type role, honestly, I don't find Mark Henry to be that great as far as the backstage.
Well, Mark Henry's knees work a little better, and he can walk to where they need him to be. They can drop him off, and he can walk to the back of the arena where the fucking thing is.
I just don't dig his interviews. I don't know. Walt, you listen to the Busted Open podcast more than any of us.
Listen, man, he's good on Busted Open, and it's because other people carry him, right? And like he's got some good insight on Busted Open. But like as far as being an analyst or in that backstage role on AEW,
I feel like there's no substance there.
I'm just not in it. I'm not into it, man. Maybe in a couple of years he'll find his stride, but right now, that's not it.
Man, it's like 50 years old. A couple of years he's gonna find his stride. You find your stride
in career change, pal.
50-some years old.
It's not like he was the greatest fucking promo of all time.
It's not like he was the greatest fucking wrestler of all time.
Maybe he'll bring back sexual chocolate and then it'll just all be healed.
Oh yeah.
Bring that back. Bring out. Look, Mark Henry should just be literally banging like 20-year-old women with fake boobs.
But he's married with children.
Does his wife have fake boobs? Because we could use her.
Moving on.
My match of the week was none other than the 12 Days of Christmas gauntlet match.
That was a weird thing.
Jesus.
And listen, not the whole fucking thing, right? Because like that was kind of a shit show at the beginning. But
it was kind of a shit
show.
At
what point does your credibility get called into, this is some
what
bullshit,
was good,
Walter.
What we thought was going to be good was good, and what we thought was going to be bad was bad, right? Like, Ricochet looked like $1 million.
I mean, he did.
Well, that happens when you give him TV time.
I mean, he did pin
Sheamus.
Sheamus, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, he lost to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's going to get the IC belt again, and he's going to bring the Intercontinental Championship back to prominence.
Well, good.
I don't even know who the
And then the Miz will
right now.
take it from him and go on a long run because it's his.
Oh yeah, Shinsuke. That's right. You know what? Shinsuke with Boogs is really good, but
Shinsuke shouldn't need Boogs. Shinsuke is good enough on his own, which he proved in NXT.
I don't know.
And obviously in New Japan. It's just Vince is like.
I really like Boogs, and I think I really like Boogs with Shinsuke. I don't know if they need a belt though.
Rick. Boogs.
My name's Rick. Yeah, I love Boogs. No, yeah. I take it back. No, it'd be cool though, Shinsuke, because like remember when like Shinsuke was part of like Sammy's like crew?
Yeah.
That was great. That was good.
Yeah,
but
because Sammy was the mouthpiece, that's why.
Sammy's good. Sammy's good. They re-signed Sammy.
Yeah, I was gonna say sidebar.
And Kevin Owens, truthfully.
Yeah.
But they re-signed both of them guys. And truthfully, that not stupid on WWE's part. Very, very smart. They've made a lot of stupid moves this year. They made a lot of stupid moves this year, but that was a very smart move from their perspective. Very smart. And they should continue to do smart things and stop doing stupid things. So that's my take. Be smart, not stupid. You heard it here first.
I was totally expecting a Danhausen reference there.
Now, be smart, not stupid. One Fall WrestleCast. One Fall WrestleCast. So very nice, very evil.
Very smart, very stupid.
Hausen. All right, guys. Well, yeah, let's get the fudge out.
I need to take a shower. I'm so dirty.
Tom gets cranky when he doesn't get a shower.
Yeah, he does. Why are you such a bitch whenever you get dirty?
Dirty. I just
can't sit at your desk all day. Is it dusty?
Dude, okay.
Do you get dust in your armpits?
Yeah. But also, here's what I do. Okay, so like I go downstairs and like, oh man, I got the best thing for Christmas. I bought a carpet shampooer, right? And like I have cats, right? So like this.
God, we're so adult right now.
Oh my god,
you got a fucking vacuum for Christmas, boys. And it is
no, it's not. It's not just a vacuum. The shit fucking like runs like. It mushes like soap through the carpet.
Yeah.
Oh man, my carpets were dirty. I dumped out some like.
Yeah, isn't that the worst? But also makes you feel good once it's done.
Dirty little carpets.
Yeah, I feel you.
They're much. They look the degree of the change in color is like that. It's like But no, it was great. So I did that today.
Well, yeah. I'm happy for you, pal.
But now I need a shower.
So now
you didn't shower after that? You're disgusting.
No, dude, I have not showered.
What is wrong with you?
I even worked out.
Get your ass in the shower.
I even worked out today.
Just make sure that you set up the camera and you put it on the OnlyFans. That's www.onlyfans.com/One Fall WrestleCast.
I've been working out.
I've got access.
I've got a whole
all of the fan content.
I've got a whole like ab. Like I've got a one ab right here. It's right here. It's a one ab. It's very good. I've been doing a lot of sit-ups.
The premier athlete, Tom.
So listen, y'all know that like if we ever get to the situation where like a Patreon becomes a thing, we're gonna have to do Patreon through OnlyFans. As much as we talk about it.
We'll show my one ab on OnlyFans.
The show's going to be sponsored by OnlyFans. That's how we'll get around it.
My short dick on OnlyFans.
Oh. All right.
Here's all 5 inches.
All right.
We could make like a human centipede dick and have like all 3 of them attached.
There
like some weird Photoshop thing. Like
we might get a whole 9 inches.
There you go.
There you
go. Now we're getting somewhere, fellas. At least we're useful. We've all made children.
You guys' get a whole 9 inches.
At least ours works, and we kept it. Unlike Nyla Rose,
we've all made children.
We didn't turn it into some sort of slit fucking whatever the hell you turn that into.
What the
You
fuck?
think they just shove it in there and it turns inside out? And like, oh, you got a vagina. Good job.
No, you're
You know what? Why don't you ask Mr. Garrison?
Tom's the one who looked under the hood. I was hoping he could elaborate for us.
I didn't look. I just understand. I read the article. Fuck.
I love it when we get this late in the show because then we can just say whatever.
So bad. I should be canceled. I'm gonna be canceled right now. I'm gonna cancel from YouTube.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna
the
get
end.
canceled.
Tom, you said some terrible things on this wrestling podcast this one.
Yeah, but I tried to gloss over it.
I didn't hear you say anything terrible, Tom. I swear.
The only thing I heard that was terrible was the name Derek. That was the only terrible thing I heard.
What's
it
the like
happens.
there? McGruber streaming now.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. If you're watching us on YouTube, you know that we exist. Like, comment, and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. A lot. A lot. A lot. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, man. And most importantly, we hope that everybody had a fantastic Christmas. Derek, happy birthday. I'm
Thank you.
Glad to hear that you had a good day.
I'm sorry that your birthday is like also like here's your Christmas and your birthday present.
You know, it kind of worked out because I just sat at home in my chair and I played a lot of Halo Infinite and
How good is Halo?
Yeah,
oh
blew
man,
me
it's
off.
fantastic. Yeah, all the kids they got it for Christmas.
It's okay.
So I was just crushing souls left and
I
right.
didn't clear my schedule for you or anything. It's fine.
On.
Just blow me off. It's fine.
Cut.
It's fine. It's fine. Just blow me off. It's fine.
Well, Tom and I went to the mall. By the time we were done there, I was tired.
Oh.
So tired.
You know how it is when Tom and I get together.
So you guys went out without me, huh?
Are we done?
With all that being said,
I'm going to bed.
Tom's going to bed.
Good night.
Christmas, for fuck's sake. Can I just get out of the show here?
Yeah, please.
I mean, yeah. You know, for fuck's sake.
Fuck up.
Happy New Year, folks. Thank you so much. We'll catch you in 2022. With all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
Peace.